Hey everybody, Pastor Adam here for day 7 of 3-Minute Advent. You may notice I'm back in the bathroom here trying to work on this as I'm working on the flooring. Now, some of you know my wife, and she is one of the kindest people that you'll meet, very compassionate and so forth. But if I said I was going to go work on the floor here in the bathroom to get this job here before me done, and then she came down here after a few hours, maybe after a couple days, and checked in on me and saw that nothing was getting done, I don't know however kind she may be, she's going to be pretty frustrated with me. And so with that, it leads us into our discussion for today. And so today I wanted to think about Luke chapter 19. Luke 19 is this story about the master who goes away. Now, Jesus is telling a parable, and what a parable is it's an earthly story with a heavenly meaning. What that means is a story we can relate to, or they could relate to at that time, that had a profound kingdom truth in the midst of it. And so what we see here is, first off, Jesus is going in the first part of chapter 19 and talking to Zacchaeus, who was a tax collector. Now, tax collectors were hated because they were Hebrews who were taking money from other Hebrews and giving their money to Rome. And so he went there, first off, or he's on his way there, and he tells this story. And the story is about a master who goes away, a nobleman who's going away to become the king. And he tells 3 of his servants and gives them money called minas, and he gives them a mina apiece and tells them to be about the business as he goes. And they don't know when he's coming back. And we see that a couple of the servants are very, very faithful in being about the business and trying to do the right thing with what their master has given them. Another one just kind of sits back and does whatever. All of a sudden, the master comes back and he approaches the servants and asks the servants, "What have you done?" And the first servant comes up and says, "I took the 1 mina and I made 10 out of it." And he says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You'll be in charge of 10 cities." The second one comes up and says, "Master, I didn't get 10, but I got 5. And he says, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You'll be in charge of 5 cities. And the last servant comes up and says, "Well, I know that you were kind of a rigid type of person, and so I just buried it because I didn't want to lose it. And so here's your mina back." And he tells that servant to depart from him because he was not faithful with what had been given to him. Now, as we celebrate the first Advent and then Jesus coming, we also look forward to the second Advent and that Jesus is coming back. We were given a command at the end of Matthew to go and make disciples. And so our life here is not all about us just trying to live a moral life. It's not just about us trying to be good in that sense, but it's the fact that we are pursuing holiness, but also looking to go and make disciples, to fulfill the command before our master comes back, before the second Advent takes place. We have a job before us, and it's a job we should be about. Today, that's the challenge. And I hope that you think about that and maybe even pray, "God, who is it that I should be speaking to about your great kingdom?" I hope that challenges you, and I hope it's something to think about. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.